Hi friends, myself CA Yashveer Singh. We are making video series on business structure options in India. So we have already made a video on introduction about it, and then part 1, in that we have done a comparative analysis of sole proprietorship, your partnership firm, LLP and private limited on various criterias. Part 2, we have made a video on that. We have provided you the information related to the advantages of different structures, limitations of different structures, and then best use cases where we should opt for which kind of a business structure. And then we have given recommendations also that if you are into these kind of businesses, then this is the structure which is best suitable for you. Okay, so today we are making the part 3 of this series. In this series we will be telling you what documents, once you have decided that we are going for this kind of structure, let's say whatever X structure you are going, then what documents and information you should keep ready, so that when you go to a chartered accountant for helping to get a help on registration, then you have all these documents ready, and if you provide that documents to CA, then he will be able to do it very smoothly for you. Okay, otherwise he will keep asking one documents from you, and every time you have to collect and forward it to him. So it becomes very handy if you keep all these documents ready, and it will reduce your incorporation time as well. Okay, so let's start. So the thing is that essential KYC and information required for business registrations in India. So here we have a column like sole proprietorship, partnership firm, limited liability and private limited. So let's start with first one. So we will require Aadhaar card, PAN card, one passport size color photograph. Okay, so for sole proprietors data will be required. All this in partnership, if you are going for a partnership, for all partners we will require Aadhaar card, PAN card, your one colored passport or color photograph. And if LLP also for all partners, in private limited we will require for all directors and all shareholders. Okay, now mobile number and email ID. So we will require mobile number, email ID of proprietor in sole proprietorship firm, of all partners in partnership firm, for LLP all partners, and for the private limited again all directors and shareholders we will require the mobile number and their personal email ID. Okay, now we will require proposed entity email ID and mobile number. So you just note that we are saying proposed entity email ID and mobile number. So government department wants to know what email ID you want to they want to take from you, so that if they have to make some communication to you, on what email ID they should send that notice, intimation, all that. And if they want to reach out over call also, so which number they should call. So for each structure we should give to government that for this entity, this is the registered email ID or registered mobile number on which you can do the communication. Generally it is for the government department, internally for the government department. Okay, so if you are going for a sole proprietorship, then also it is required. Then all cases, whether it's a partnership, LLP or private limited, it will be required. So proposed entity email ID and mobile number. So mobile number anybody of stakeholder like partner can give, or a director can give, or sole proprietorship proprietor himself his mobile number can give. And email ID, what we suggest generally, you create a new email ID in the name of business, so that all the communication is taken care there. So you just see one email ID and you are up to date, that is there any communication or intimation from the department, you will get to know immediately. You can reply also. Otherwise you will get confused. Everybody will have nowadays 3 to 4, 5 email IDs. But when you start a business, just keep a one email ID, and that only you get it registered, and often check that also, so that you are updated if any communication is done by anybody. Okay sir. So address proof, latest 1 month bank statement. So for address proof of the owner of the business, so latest 1 month bank statement will be required, but it is not required in the case of proprietorship, not required in partnership firm, only in case of when ROC registration is done through ROC for LLP and private limited. So in LLP, for LLP all partners required, and for it's a private limited, what you have thought, then you have to give 1 month bank statement of all the directors and shareholders. Okay, now identity proof. As an identity proof, you have either can give voter ID, driving license, or you can give a passport. So for a proprietorship, proprietors required. For firm, it's all partners, LLP all partners. For private limited, all directors and shareholders required. Okay, now name of authorized signatory. Now government wants to know that from on the company's behalf, who is authorized signatory. So from company side also, company wants that one person we can authorize for one, like this compliances. so that every compliances he has to take care. So we need to inform government also, and company internally decides who will be the authorized signatory wherever multiple people are there, or if it is sole proprietor himself is the authorized signatory, and in case of a partnership from which director is authorized signatory. So that information we are supposed to give to the whenever the registration happens. So it's required in the sole proprietorship, it's required in partnership firm, it's required in LLP, and it's required in private limited. So if there are more than like if there are 2 directors or more, mutually they can decide that who will be authorized signatory for what registrations, like that. Okay, so for partnership firm, partners internally can decide, and they can say that one of the partners they can authorize that he will be authorized signatory. Okay. Now next is rental agreement. So this is very, very important, which we should note, is that whenever you want to register a business in India, government wants to know that what address you are going to keep as a registered address. So if any communication has to happen, or any department wants to visit any officer, they want to come and check that how you are operating, are you complying with the law and not, and all. So for that, government wants to know what is the registered address of your business. So for that, we will require rental agreement, because if it is a rented premises where you are starting the business, then in that case you will require a notarized rental agreement if the address of the registered office is taken on rent. Okay, as well as you have to ensure that it should be commercial, that in the rental agreement it should be very clearly written that this business is this place is let out for the commercial or business activity. It should not say that it is let out for a residential purpose, then it will be rejected straightforward. So if it is taking rented, then it should write a business or commercial activity will be conducted from here, and the owner do not have any problem. At the same time, it should be notarized also. So it is required even in the sole proprietorship, it is required in partnership, it's required in LLP, it's required in private limited. Okay, and the rental agreement, like in this case for a sole proprietor, it can be in the name of sole proprietor. For a partnership firm, it can be in the name of partner, or it can be in the name of partnership firms, saying that, for example, ABC partnership firm represented by its partners. It should start, the rental agreement should start like that. At the same time, for LLP, again it can be in the name of proposed name of LLP represented by partners. And for a private limited, it can be in the name of director, or otherwise it can be in the name of company represented by this director. It should be like this. Okay. Then rental agreement, 1 or 2 more points I will tell in rental agreement. Then at last, in for especially when I am speaking, so I will give an example of Karnataka. So they want the rental agreement to be signed by 2 witnesses. So 2 witnesses, they can sign the rental agreement, and then they can write their name, mobile number and address. So in Karnataka, they are requiring these things. So 2 witnesses has to sign at the last page rental agreement. They have to put their name, they have to put their mobile number, and they have to put their address also, and it should be notarized. And also, when you are taking stamp for a rental agreement, you make sure that you are taking at a right value. There is a formula which we can discuss in some other video also, from like based on that, and each state is having different rule. So you have to check with the stamp paper vendor that how much value of stamp. Otherwise you either check with the stamp paper vendor, or otherwise you check with the lawyer that what is the right amount of stamp I should take for my rental agreement. Okay, so this is very much important, because we have seen over the time that people have taken 100 and 200 rupees of stamp paper, and the government has rejected that also. Okay, some cases are there, few like that also. Now NOC from owner. So when you are taking the business on rent, rented place, registering the business at a rented place, then you have to take a no objection certificate from the landlord stating that he do not have any objection you commencing or registering that place as a business, a registered place of your business. So that no objection certificate will be required. It will be required in all the structures. Then registered office address proof. So for proving that the landlord is the actual owner of that premises, or if you are registering it in your premises, the government will require latest electricity bill. It's mandatory. Latest electricity bill, telephone bill, gas bill, water bill. Sometimes it is accepted, sometimes it is not accepted, but electricity bill is mandatory. In all cases you have to provide. And then sometimes we support that electricity bill with the sale deed or municipal khata copy. Okay, or municipal tax receipts. Okay, khata copy or municipal tax receipts. So these are the document mandatory. Again I will tell, electricity bill is mandatory, and sometimes to support that we require sale deed or tax receipt, municipal tax receipt, or a khata copy. In some cases, some registrations they will accept also telephone bill, gas bill or water bill. Okay, and one more thing here I will try to highlight is that your electricity, if you are submitting an electricity bill to support your ownership of a landlord, then electricity bill name should be same as as the name in the rental agreement. So you, while making the rental agreement, you make sure that whatever name is written on the electricity bill, that name only you make the rental agreement also. So owner name is, let's say, Ram, then the in rental agreement also it should say Ram, Ram lending this property for this case or this company, like that way. Okay, if it is Ram A, Ram C, Ram B, like that, if it is writing in the rental agreement, they may reject that also. Kumar Ram or Ram Kumar, like that, if you also write, then they will reject that because name is not matching. So you ensure that, as well as the house number is very important, that you if electricity bill should contain house number. If it is not there, then electricity bill is also waste. Then you have to go for a sale deed, or you have to go for a municipal tax receipt or a khata copy. You have to support that property number is this 101, 104, whatever extra is there. If it is not there mentioned in the electricity bill, then you support your registration application with the sale deed or khata copy or a municipal tax payment receipt. Okay, so these are the things which you have to take care. So these registered address proof ho gaya, the electricity bill and all this is required for all cases. Then proposed name of the entity. So you have to tell CA that I am planning to keep a trade name of my proprietorship like this. Firm name, it is, if you are going for a firm, partnership firm, then you have to tell the firm name. If you are going for a LLP or a private limited company, then you have to give a two proposed name, because CA will, after taking those names, CA will apply those name with the MCA, and MCA will see that is there any matching name in the database. If they find that there is no matching name in the database, then they will give you, and they will reserve the name in your name. They will reserve the company's name in your profile. But you have to ensure that LLP and company, you have to give minimum two proposed name. In proprietorship and partnership firm, even if you give one name, that is fine, because no name approval is required, as we have already discussed in part 1. Okay, so you have to provide the proposed name, and while giving the proposed name, you make sure that you don't make any spelling mistake. That name only exactly do double time verify, and then only forward to chartered accountant that this name I want to keep, and also inform chartered accountant, then please make sure that spelling should not be wrong. Okay, next okay, so next is that objective of the entity. You have to tell the chartered accountant when he is going registering your company or business structure, then you have to tell that my business is going to do this kind of objectives, like I will be doing this manufacturing, I can do this manufacturing, or I am into service sector, and what exactly the activities the business is going to do, that you have to tell to the chartered accountant in brief. And also like what I will suggest is that you can take a reference from the existing company's MOA who is into same line of business, who is a competitor, I will say. So if you download their MOA, so only MOA is possible to download from the private competitors which are in the operating in from the in a structure of private limited. So you can go to government website. CS will help you. You just have to give a name of your competitor. CS will download their that company's MOA and will give it to you, so you know that they are into same line of business. But when you read their MOA, you will get to know what objectives they have written, and then from there you can filter that these objectives I want to continue. You can do addition, deletion, that I want to do these additional activities. So that document will act as a help based document for you. Using that, you can create your own MOA objectives of the business. Okay, sometimes what happened that you have started the business, you are planning to start, you don't know that later on you can, in addition to that, you may do something, and then again you have to amend your MOA. So it will be better that existing company, which is a well established company in the market, you download their MOA, use that MOA and draft your own objectives. Okay, so objective of entity is very much required, but it's not required in a proprietorship, it's required in a normal partnership firm, it's required in LLP, and it's required in a private limited company. Okay, proposed share capital to be introduced. Now you have to inform the chartered accountant that I'm starting a business, let's say of 50, by investing of 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, whatever X amount you are bringing as a capital, that capital amount is required. But it's not required in proprietorship, you don't have to tell, but in a partnership firm you have to tell, and you have to write in a partnership deed. You have to give in LLP also, and you have to give in private limited also. So this is very important. You have to decide among yourself that what will be the proposed capital of the company, and the same you have to communicate. And okay, so capital contribution contribution ratio. Now let's say you have decided that we will keep a capital of, let's say, 1 CR. Then there are, let's say, for a proprietorship, one person will bring, there is no dispute. So when you're going for a partnership or a LLP kind of a structure, then you have to tell that there are 4 partners and what will be the ratio out of 1 crore, that how much who will be bringing. Some will bring 20%, some will bring 30%, like those kind of things. So you have to give the ratio also, so that while preparing the LLP agreement or partnership deed, they know that okay, this person is going to be this bring, and they will write accordingly. At the same time, for a private limited company, the share capital will be divided accordingly, the proposed capital contribution ratio. Okay. Profit sharing ratio, so it's required in the partnership firm, it's required in the LLP firm, not required in this. So profit sharing ratio among the partners, you have to tell that ABC are the 3 partners and they will be sharing the profit in this ratio. Similarly, contribution also ratio also you have to tell, and you have to decide and you keep it ready, and whenever the CA asks, you have to provide these details. Now rubber stamp. So what happens that once your company is incorporated, you will be going for opening a bank account, or you will be preparing your letters and all that to authenticate that this is authenticated by the entity, that if you put a stamp paper and it is signed by the authorized person, that then it is a proof that document is authenticated by the business, like that way. So you can get rubber stamp will be required after once registration is done. You can get it created, your rubber stamp, for all kind of structures, whether you are opening a proprietorship, partnership and all. 2 type of stamp paper rubber stamps are in market. One is round stamp and another is for sale. So for sale will write like for or on behalf of the company name, and down it will write the name of a person. For sale, it's called for or on behalf of, for this company, like that. So that is, one is forms for sale and one is round stamp. Okay, so which one is required for a business, you can just understand from your consultant or chartered accountant, they will guide you on that. Okay. Last one more point, I was saying that proposed share capital. So proposed share capital not required in the proprietorship, but it required in the private normal partnership firm, LLP, and for a LLP as well as for a private limited company, based on your capital, the government will calculate stamp duty on that. Okay, so that you have to see that if you are bringing a higher side of amount, you have to be ready, mentally ready, that based on my capital contribution, I have to pay stamp duty also. So MCA, while filing the form, only MCA will collect for LLP and private limited companies, based on the capital what you are telling, on that they will apply formula and automatically that amount will be feeded. So you have to keep yourself mentally ready that if I am investing 1 crore at the start of the business, maybe the stamp duty may range from 50,000 rupees to 2 lakh rupees depending on state to state. Okay, so by this we have concluded part 3 also of our series on business structure options in India. If you keep these documents ready and give it to CA upfront only, then the incorporation process will become very smooth, and it will reduce the time of incorporation also. Okay, hope you find this video useful. Thank you so much for your support. Please like, share and subscribe. See you in our next video, where we will be discussing that what will be the procedure of incorporating each structure in India. So step by step we will discuss the process. Okay, thank you.